Why does our mind wander here and there when we start doing some work? Thoughts that weren't there until now start coming up. Because of this, we are unable to focus on the task at hand. Eventually, we fail in what we are doing. Why does this happen? Once upon a time, there was a wise sage in a city. He was a great scholar and well-versed in scriptures. People from far and wide used to come to him to seek solutions to their problems and doubts. Many disciples were learning in his ashram. One day, while the guru was walking around the ashram, a disciple was practicing a Sanskrit verse. However, he couldn't memorize one page and move on to the next. Every time, he would make some mistake. So, he had to keep going back to the previous page and start over. After trying repeatedly, he finally felt it was impossible for him. At that moment, he saw the guru. Seeing him, he respectfully greeted the guru. He explained his problem to the guru. "Guruji, I have been trying to memorize this verse for about 2 hours, but every time I make some mistake. My mind doesn't stay focused on the practice. No matter how hard I try, my mind keeps wandering here and there. Because of this, I have to keep starting from the beginning, but I am not succeeding. Why does this happen? Can you please tell me?" Responding to the disciple's words, the guru said, "My child, this happens because you are unable to keep your mind properly focused on the task. An ordinary person wastes 99% of their brain's power. They do not use it properly. The main reason for this is that their mind does not stay stable on any task. Because of this, they keep making mistakes. No matter how much they try, they cannot correct it. But a simple mind can do this task naturally. There are many reasons behind this." The disciple asked, "Guruji, can you please tell me what those reasons are?" The guru then explained to the disciple about the reasons. "While writing, does your mind get distracted from writing due to some reason?" The disciple nodded and said, "Yes, Guruji, what you are saying is true. Today, all the other disciples have a holiday. They have all gone out for some work. But I have been given this task. Perhaps, this is why my mind is not staying focused on reading." The disciple continued, "Guruji, if our mind doesn't stay stable anywhere and we cannot do any task properly, then in such a situation, how can we stabilize our mind on a task or reading?" The guru said, "I will give you a method for this. If you follow it, you will be able to concentrate on any task." The guru said, "First, whenever your mind does not stay focused on a task, take deep breaths and exhale. Do this 5 times, and try to shift your mind from the task and other things, focusing on." The guru continued, "Disciple, whenever you engage in a task, try to involve all your senses in the task. When writing, feel the pen in your hand with your fingers. Look at the letters with your eyes, and focus your mind on the slight sound of friction between the pen and the paper. Listen to that sound attentively. Hear the pronunciation of the words in your mind while writing. Smell the ink scent. This will concentrate all your senses on one thing, stabilizing them on one task. Completely merge your mind with the task. You will then become fully absorbed in your work. When you work this way, you won't notice the passage of time, and there won't be any mistakes. But keep in mind, if your mind becomes restless in the middle of the task, if various thoughts arise, and if you start to get distracted, don't be afraid. Resolve to do the task again, and try to immerse your mind completely in the work. By doing this repeatedly, you will develop the habit. Your mind will begin to immerse itself in the task or study." The disciple listened attentively to everything the guru said and began to practice accordingly. Through this practice, he became so skilled that the mistakes he used to make no longer occurred. Not only that, he started completing all his tasks in one go. This is because our focus is often scattered among our senses. It is essential to bring our senses together and focus them on one task. As long as our attention is divided among the senses, our mind remains unstable and wanders. However, when we pull our mind together and concentrate it on one task, it stops wandering. Your mind will then become fully immersed in the work. However, an ordinary mind cannot maintain this for long. But by practicing this method over time, the mind learns to become absorbed in the task. A person becomes so immersed in the work that they lose awareness of the outside world. They don't notice the passage of time, and the work gets done correctly. After explaining this, the guru went into meditation. Just then, a young man arrived and greeted the guru. The guru opened his eyes and looked at the young man. The young man said, "Guruji, I have come from a far place. I have heard a lot about you from people. They say you solve the problems of everyone who comes to you. I have a problem too. Please guide me." The guru asked, "What is your problem?" The young man explained his problem. "Guruji, I have been trying for a long time. I have taken many government exams, but I haven't passed any of them. I don't understand where I am going wrong. No matter how hard I study, success seems like a distant dream. Please tell me what I am lacking." Listening to the young man's words, the guru smiled and asked, "Do you truly wish to succeed in your exams?" The young man replied, "Yes, Guruji, I really want to succeed in my exams. That's why I have come to you. Please guide me appropriately." Then the guru stood up, took the young man by the hand, and led him to a well. There, he handed the young man a pot and said, "Fill this pot with water and bring it back to the ashram," before returning to the ashram himself. The young man began to think, how will filling this pot with water solve my problem? But he had no other option. He quickly lowered the pot into the well and filled it with water. To his surprise, the pot had many tiny holes, and the water began to leak out. He thought, if I quickly carry the pot back to the ashram, maybe I can save enough water. The holes are very small, so I should be able to make it. Thinking this, the young man started rushing towards the ashram. However, by the time he reached the ashram, the pot was empty, with only a few drops left at the bottom. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't manage to bring a full pot of water back to the ashram. Determined to complete the task, he tried several more times, but each time the result was the same. He was unable to keep the water in the pot long enough to reach the ashram. Seeing his struggle, the guru approached him and said, "Do you see what is happening? The holes in the pot are like the distractions and lack of focus in your mind. No matter how much effort you put into filling the pot, studying for exams, if your mind is full of distractions and not fully focused, you won't be able to achieve your goal. To succeed, you must first work on fixing the holes, removing distractions and improving focus in your mind. Only then can you hold on to the knowledge and reach your goal." The young man understood the guru's wisdom and realized that he needed to work on his concentration and remove distractions to succeed in his exams. Seeing this, the guru began to laugh. He then said to the young man, "My boy, the restlessness of the mind is a significant affliction. This is what is happening to you. Various thoughts arise in your mind, and you are thinking about many things at once. As a result, your mental energy is being wasted, and no matter how hard you try, success eludes you. You thought you could fill the pot with water and quickly reach the ashram, focusing solely on the ashram. But as you saw, all the water leaked out, leaving only a few drops at the bottom. Therefore, control the restlessness of your mind. Without complete focus, you cannot achieve any task. Some people might tell you that many tasks can be done solely with physical strength. However, even the body operates according to the mind's commands. All tasks are achievable through mental strength. If a woodcutter does not work with focus, he cannot strike the same spot with his axe each time. If his aim is even slightly off, he could injure himself. Thus, complete focus is required for every task. If you want to be successful in life and pass this exam, you must learn to do one task with complete focus. The way you practice will become your daily habit. Therefore, even the smallest task must be done with mindfulness. By doing this, the nature of your mind changes, and you begin to engage fully in any task. Once you become skilled at this, you will undoubtedly succeed in your exams. To this, the young man replied, "Guruji, whenever I sit down to study, numerous thoughts start coming into my mind. My mind follows those waves of thoughts, and no matter what I do, I cannot control it. Given this, how can I control or get rid of these thoughts? The Guru replied, when your mind starts to wander with many thoughts, take a deep breath and bring your focus back to your breath, just as I instructed the disciple earlier. When you notice your mind drifting, gently bring it back to the task at hand. This is a practice, and with time and consistency, it will become easier. Start by practicing mindfulness in your daily activities. Whether you are eating, walking, or doing any small task, bring your full attention to it. Gradually, this practice will strengthen your ability to focus, and you will find it easier to concentrate on your studies without being overwhelmed by other thoughts. Remember, patience and perseverance are key. Keep practicing, and you will see improvement over time. The Guru laughed and handed a cup filled with water to the young man. He said, "Look, not a single drop of water should spill from this cup. Hold it carefully." Then he added, "Until I tell you to put the cup down, hold it steadily." The young man held the cup in his hand and stood there, determined to prove his capability. At first, everything was fine. But after some time, various thoughts began to enter his mind. He started thinking about what could happen by doing this task. He realized that no matter how hard he tried, his mind wouldn't stay controlled. He couldn't restrain his thoughts. Despite his efforts to hold the cup without spilling the water, his body began to move slightly, causing the water to spill. Seeing this, the Guru said to the young man, "My child, as long as your mind was calm, not a single drop of water spilled. When thoughts started arising in your mind, your body reacted accordingly, causing the water to spill. Just like how striking a piece of heated iron with a hammer shapes it, a thought acts like a small hammer. With its impact, the mind starts to take a shape. Your mind is like the water in this cup. It easily becomes restless and agitated. To keep the water in the cup still, your mind needs to be calm." The young man listened attentively as the Guru continued, "The key to controlling your thoughts and maintaining focus lies in practicing mindfulness and calmness. When your mind starts to wander, acknowledge the thoughts without getting carried away by them. Gently bring your attention back to the task at hand. This requires practice and patience. Start with small steps. Practice mindfulness in daily activities, while eating, walking, or doing any routine task. Gradually, this will strengthen your ability to focus. Over time, you'll find it easier to concentrate on your studies or any important task without being overwhelmed by distracting thoughts. Remember, controlling the mind is a skill that develops with consistent effort and patience. Keep practicing, and you will improve." The young man understood the importance of a calm and focused mind and resolved to follow the Guru's advice diligently. The Guru continued, "Hold this cup again. Now, focus your entire mind on your breath. Feel the process of breathing, the pain in your hands, and listen to the sounds of the letters forming in your mind. Tell yourself that you are not the mind, you are the observer of the mind. You are not the breath, you are the observer of the breath." By thinking this way, no matter how many thoughts come and go in your mind, they will not disturb you. For a while, the young man practiced this method. Now, the water in the cup did not spill at all. Seeing this, the Guru smiled and said, "My child, apply this same practice to your work and studies. This will calm your mind. Achieving any great goal becomes easier this way. You will be able to achieve great goals and succeed in any exam." With this, the Guru became silent. The young man understood why he had not been successful in his exams so far. He bowed to the Guru and returned to his village. Listeners, from this story, we learn many things. First, we must engage all 5 senses in a single focus. Practice deep breathing and pranayama, as this steadies the mind and keeps other thoughts at bay. By doing so, the mind becomes still, and other thoughts stay away. This story teaches us the importance of mindfulness and concentration in our tasks. By practicing these techniques, we can control the restlessness of the mind and achieve our goals effectively. Secondly, engage all your senses in a single task. Let your ears, eyes, nose, tongue, and touch be fully immersed in the work you are doing. Thirdly, do not be afraid if your focus wavers. Resolve to immerse yourself in your work or study again. With practice, the mind will gradually become absorbed in the task. When this happens, you will be able to perform the task very easily and naturally. You will not notice the passage of time, the work will not feel burdensome, and it will not become tiresome. Instead, you will find joy in the work you are doing, and eventually, you will complete it smoothly and naturally. What we need to understand is that the fundamental principle of every task is mindfulness. The mind will not be disturbed by small, insignificant thoughts. Without full attention, you cannot succeed in any task. You might have experienced this: while you are studying or working, a message arrives on your phone. Your mind tells you to check the message quickly. When you look at the message, your full attention shifts to your phone. A lot of your time is wasted on it without you even realizing it. The essence of this story is that concentration and mindfulness are crucial for success in any endeavor. By engaging all your senses in a single focus, maintaining a calm mind through practices like deep breathing and pranayama, and persevering despite distractions, you can achieve your goals effectively and enjoy the process. Just as hot metal is shaped by hammering, our mind's thoughts shape our body, personality, and mind. When positive thoughts prevail, we feel light and cheerful. Conversely, when negative thoughts dominate, our mind becomes burdened with worry and heaviness. Therefore, it's important to pay attention even to small details and remain vigilant. Always be mindful to prevent unnecessary thoughts from entering your mind. Remind yourself, I am not the mind, I am observing the mind. I am not the breath, I am observing the breath. Accept and let go of thoughts as they come. By doing so, your mind will be free from unnecessary clutter. You will be able to float like a leaf on water, experiencing joy and happiness. Your body will remain healthy and strong, and your mind will not be overwhelmed by stress or worry. This way, you will be able to make sound decisions and fully immerse yourself in your tasks, leading to success in all your endeavors. If you enjoyed this story, please like it and subscribe to our channel for more diverse content. Your encouragement provides us with fresh inspiration.